This MMA 30 segment is powered by The Gun Store. Next time you're in Las Vegas, if you want to shoot a real machine gun, do it at The Gun Store at 2900 East Tropicana. Dave Farra for MMA 30 at The Gun Store here in Las Vegas at 2900 East Tropicana, standing alongside the Pitbull, Mr. Thiago Alves. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Doing good. You know.
Circumstances considering what they are. UFC 130 last night, very close decision. You lost to Rick Story. Your thoughts on the decision first?
It was a close fight, but I truly believe that I won the second and the third round for sure. So that's why I was celebrating, at the end of the round. But the judge didn't think so. So.
Yeah, I saw that look of disappointment on your face. I think that a lot of people expected your hand to be raised. But when you heard the announcement, were you actually surprised, or did you think that there was a possibility it may go that way?
I was surprised. I mean, I knew it was a close. The first round, I knew he had it for sure. The second round, I knew I took him down, controlled him in the top for a little bit, and I landed a few shots. The third round, I just dominated. So I think it comes down to the third round in my eyes, but I guess not.
It's one of those risky fights, too, because Rick Story, a lot of people that are kind of MMA diehards know that he's a really good fighter and he's an up-and-coming prospect, but his name isn't as big as the Thiago Alves name yet. So when that first fight got brought to you, was there some hesitation on your part to take it? Because it's always dangerous to fight a guy that's not as well-known but is a really solid fighter.
No, not at all. I mean, you're in this business, to fight whoever is next in the line, so I don't really pick my opponents, And Rick Story's a really tough kid, He proved himself last night, and I didn't take him lightly at all, I just thought it was a bad decision.
The blueprint in the past to beat you before with John Fitch and GSP has been to use that wrestling, and Rick Story's got really good wrestling, but you did a nice job last night of avoiding that takedown. Was that a big focus in your camp?
Yeah, definitely. I'm getting my wrestling skills better. I'm working my jiu-jitsu a lot. There are few things that I really think I should have done better in that fight, not stayed in the cage for too long, try to push him off a little bit. I started out kind of slow, was picking up as the fight goes on. But it's a learning experience. I still think that I did enough to win the second, the third round. But once again, it's out of my hands now.
I feel like you've answered a lot of the questions about the weight being an issue for you in the past. There's a guy standing right over there by the name of Mike Dolce, who I know has been working really closely with you for a long time. And I think you tweeted that you're ready to put this bedtime story to sleep with your weigh-ins on Friday. Do you feel like all the critics have been answered on that?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, we made 170. That's the championship weight. I wanted to do that to show everybody, I'm not missing weight anymore. That's the old Thiago Alves, and I had a really great camp for this fight. Fortunately, it didn't went the way I wanted, last fight, last night. But it's getting better. Things are getting better and the way it should. And I mean, it's not in the speed that I want, but it's getting there.
Some fighters like to take a little bit of time off after a loss to reflect. Other guys want to get right back to the gym. How do you feel?
I want to get right back to the gym. I mean, I want to erase this loss as fast as possible. So I'm healthy. I didn't hurt anything. I'm ready to go. So next week I'll be back to the gym.
What are your thoughts on the welterweight division right now? There's a lot of talk about George St. Pierre possibly moving up to 185 for a super fight with Anderson Silva. That still isn't done yet, but do you think that there's a lot of contenders right now in the welterweight division that would have interesting fights if GSP were to leave?
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, I don't think GSP should leave, I think that's his weight class. And no, I don't see him going up to 185 and doing well against those big guys. But the welterweight division always been very stocky. It's one of the most competitive weight division, in UFC. So I think he should just wait a little bit more.
At UFC 130 last night in the main event, Rampage Jackson and Matt Hamill were in there, and Rampage at the post-fight press conference said that he wasn't even thrilled with his performance, even though he was out there kind of swinging for the knockout, looking for it. What were your thoughts on that fight?
It was pretty good. I was very impressed with the Rampage takedown defense. He was in shape. He was prepared, and he did pretty good. Everybody was talking about he was overweight and this and that, but no, he showed that he came very well prepared.
I feel like people were pretty critical of last night's card for some reason. Even in the co-main event, you had Roy Nelson and Frank Mir. Personally, I thought that was a pretty entertaining fight, but I've heard some people saying otherwise. What do you think?
I thought it was a good fight, though. I mean, Frank Mir did a great job, and Roy Nelson is always entertaining to watch, so I thought it was pretty cool.
That dude can take a beating, huh?
Yeah, I think it's because his hair, maybe.
You should grow a mullet out. Maybe we should all grow mullets out.
I can. I mean, I'm getting bald, so it sucks.
Thiago Alves, thanks so much for talking to us. Looking forward to seeing what's next.
A pleasure. Thanks for having me.